rainfall to all. We as people can't even say we as leaders. So many things I can't say. There's so many things I can. Whatever fits you. Because you can actually be a person and not a leader. Whichever one you are, we as souls should be, and I say that with confidence, we should all be focused on the care of this world, for the people, for the babies. They are the future. Yeah, that's what you hear all the time. Well, you have to put work in. You have to teach them right. Not just the babies. Everybody. If these people are your judges, your teachers, your parents, you're expecting, as they should, be able to lead you. Be an example for not you and not just them, but for the whole world and the generations to come, if God permits it. Because he did say that he's coming back. So he can put a stop to all of whatever this is and what happened. I actually can't wait for that day. We should be focused on what's important. And that will trickle down into everything. How we are toward each other, how you are in your relationships with these people. It would create meaningful connections if we were all doing what was right and focusing on what is important. You may ask, what is important? It's not about who he's calling, where she's at, when they're not in your face. That's their business. You need to mind it. Mind your own. Instead, you focus on yourself. You focus on what's important. You don't focus on a Grim Reaper. You don't focus on a whore of Babylon. You don't focus on that. You don't put energy to it. We don't give those people time of day. We don't give them our time or our energy. We don't give them our body. We don't give them our peace of mind. It's not that they even want those things. They don't want peace. They may want your mind and body, but they don't want peace. They don't want peace. And they're not there to give it neither. Okay? But this is what maybe the focus is, or it's been. No, it's not important. You're just wasting time and energy and your peace. Most importantly, because your time is going to be spent regardless. Time is going to keep going as long as you have peace with everything and wherever you go. That's what's important. You put your peace in places that deserves it and people. That's it. I get it. We may find ourselves around certain entities. Right? Just like me, I find myself on the council every day. And you could say, oh, it may take away from my peace, my harmony. But understand, though, this is for a good reason. See, it's all about the intention. That's what it comes down to. I know what I'm walking into. That's first off. You got to know at least. Who is this that I'm speaking to? Do you know that you're speaking to a Grim Reaper? Because if you don't know, that's different. Are you prepared for it? Are you prepared to what is going to happen with the dealings of a Grim Reaper? I come on the council every day knowing what my purpose is, knowing what I'm about to get into, what I'm about to see, what I'm about to hear, the places I'm about to go, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually. Because it's just what I have to do. It's my work. It's not me literally choosing it, right? Like, it's not something I'm just choosing because of, again, something not in my, I'm not growing, right? I'm not growing up. That's the best way to say it. I'm just not grown up yet. I must not know if I'm choosing Grim Reapers after Grim Reapers. If I'm not realizing the signs time and time again, then I'm not growing in some sort of way. That's different. That's taking away your peace because you're not growing. You're not realizing. That may be taking away your peace because you don't care. That's the raw truth about it. Someone could sum it up and be like, they just don't care. They don't care if they're with a Grim Reaper. They don't care. There's lovers of Grim Reapers out here. People love a Grim Reaper. They love it. Ugh. So that's really what it comes down to as well. They don't care. You can tell them all day. You can warn them. You can tell them this prophecy, this happened to this person. It may happen to you. That's your fate if you stay, right? But long behold, inside, they're looking, they're hearing you, they're nodding. But inside, they're like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm staying, right? I'm staying in this deception. Whether they call it deception, whether they see it as deception, whether they, don't call it deception, listen, okay? Because, boy, we can go down so many scenarios of what they say. It's not deception. It's love. No one's perfect. And when you get in a relationship, you will see that. They're going to use all of these things to make it sound good. And it's like, I hear you, honey. I hear you, girl. Sound nice, sound good. Sounds understandable. And it is. You're right. You're totally right. But there's one thing I have against it. Do you have peace? I get that you love him. He may love you. Relationships aren't perfect. It's up and down. It's a challenge. It's about forgiveness and mercy and grace. But is it depriving you of your peace? There is a such thing as letting a person go. If you love me, just let me go. Just let me be. There's a such thing as that. Do you know that? That you don't have to stay. That you can love a person from a distance. You can love them to infinity. And they could be the worst sort of character on this planet. They could be a murderer, a child predator. And you can still love this person for whatever connection you have with them. But you're still going to stay when you don't have to. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to stay in this. That takes away your peace. That may be the hardest thing to walk away. Of course it is. Life is hard. Life is full of hardships. Life is full of sacrifice. Life is full of choices. I may not like it. I may not want it, but I need it. I have to make that sacrifice to choose it or to not choose it. To choose it because I need it or to choose it because I want it. That's life. And then there is this thing where she'll learn, right? She'll decide on her time, and that's fine. But what you won't do is tell me any excuse to my face. When I'm face to face with you, don't tell me that I'm wrong for what I speak to the nations, what I teach my babies. Don't tell me that I have no rights to speak because I'm not in a relationship, because I don't know anything about love. When I know everything I need to know before I even go in those places, before I even see a Grim Reaper. It's called preventative measures. I'm equipped already, and I'm making sure the people around me that listens to my counsel knows these things, because you're right. Life will be lifing. You don't know until you know, right? You don't know this person until you know them. And then it may be too late. Maybe. But at least you knew the signs. At least you knew that it's not normal. At least you know that you can love a person and still let them go. It's okay. And there will be many more people that the universe, you, and what's in you is God. You're of God. He will, they will bring into your life, don't worry, the peace and all the things you deserve. You don't deserve things that take away your peace. I understand. They're going to hurt you. They're going to break your heart. Understanding. That's life. You have family that do the same thing. Now this is someone that isn't family, and it's making you feel the same way. It's the same thing. You have to keep going. All these titles and these attachments, we have to detach from these people. And then we'll be free. Because regardless of the title, they're all individuals. And they all hold a connection to you. You end up feeling attached to them somehow. But you have to remember that that shouldn't stop you from making the right decision. That shouldn't stop your growth. That's the hardship of life, doing what you have to do. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. We're not the creator of this world and the will. This is just the way the world is. And until it's fixed, until it's made different, we have to continue accordingly. We cannot play naive when this is right in front of us. We can't keep sleeping with a Grim Reaper knowing he's reaping things from us. The best things, the things that bring joy and light to the world. He's sucking you dry. You're going to have to get up. You're going to have to wipe those tears, girl. You're going to have to, put your masculine shield on, okay? You're going to have to be strong. Stronger than strong. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be like, oh, I love him so much. But I can't sacrifice my peace. I can't sacrifice my sanity. I can't sacrifice anything of me for this person. I can't. Just so I can't sacrifice my babies. What I can give to the world, he's taken away. I'm allowing him to. And I know that day after day, right? Because now you feel you're losing your voice. The light in you is dimmer. You're more sad than anything. So what are you radiating in the spirit? When the babies, when they need someone to speak for them, they need your joy. They need it. They need you. And you're not being you. You're actually low vibration version you. And I know that's not the baseline you. So it's not you. You know that. I don't have to tell you that. But I'm just auntie. I'm just reminding you. Because I could be you. And we all have to stay awake, okay? Because I'm among you too. And the Grim Reapers walk among us, don't they? They look fine. And that's the other thing. They look good. That's the trickery. Trickery. Okay? They look good. Yeah. And that's the temptation of the fruit, the forbidden fruit. Just, no. Back. Don't get too close to me. But that is the fight. That's in a way what makes it so not challenging, but makes it worth it. Knowing that this is what it is. And you can persevere through it. I know it sounds weird, but I don't know, in a way, it's sort of like, I can do this. I can do this. Because all they're using is their looks or their, what's in their pockets, right? Because that's what they do. But inside, they are filled with death, right? So many more things, low vibrational things that you find down below. But then again, I can't even say down below because really it's all around us. It's up above in the heavenly places too. If we want to get deep, this is not just a worldly thing. This is a heavenly thing too. This is not just a physical thing. This is a spiritual thing too. But you know what I mean, that low vibrational, when you're acting below your baseline, you'd rather act at your baseline and above. We have to grow up. Looks is not everything. Especially when you start to understand, when you start to know. That is the teaching that we give the nations. We be who we supposed to be, whether that is a spiritual brother, a spiritual father, a spiritual mother, a spiritual sister, spiritual auntie. Yes, I'm a spiritual mother to my babies. I'm a barren woman. I have no biological children, but I do in the spirit. This is what we have to teach them. This is what should be taught. Once they, learn their ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, okay, now they need to learn this. What's in the world. Unless you're expecting them to work in this corporation 24/7, where they have to know their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. I guess they were expecting you to be a slave your whole life. I was expecting us to be free. So I speak about freedom, don't I? I speak about what will set us free. But if you think that you can't get anything from this auntie and you want to go to that auntie, and her just speak mathematics to you, then so be it. I'll pray for you still in the world while you're in it, while you're maneuvering it in it. Because mathematics is not going to save you. Mathematics will not take you far. Not anywhere deep, at least. We as people should be leaders. And being a leader doesn't always sound like forcing your kids to become a doctor or a lawyer. It's exposing why you feel you have to force them to make sure that they go for lawyer or doctor. It's telling them why you feel that way, why your parents forced you to do that, force that energy on you. Where did it come from? What are you so scared for? Like, what are you so scared about? Are you scared for me and the world? What about the world are you not telling me? They don't say those things. They don't want to talk about it. Instead, you just find them always working, always making money, never home, always busy, 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 never really being a father, never really being a mother, never being a leader to you. Yeah, they had the work ethic, right? They went to school, they're educated. In that way, they have a career, they have a stable home, a stable income. But their mind, their heart is gone. Their faith, their belief in a higher power is futile. I was going to say futile, but I'm going to just not. It's very low. Very low to maybe not even exist. That's what's missing. You can say, oh, I admire this person because of their drive when it came to the world, when it came to the system, the world of the system. They made sure they had a degree. They made sure they had money. They made sure they had their own home. Excuse me. They made sure they had food on their table. They did whatever they had to do. But you can't admire them for anything else. The rest of their character. They could also be very cold, though. Like almost like the system made them cold. It made them robotic. They come home and everything is just structured. Everything is just like routine. Because we got to make sure we have this money. I got to go to work tomorrow. I have to. I have no other time. I can't put my other energy into anything else. So it's like a sacrifice. Now, if you could do both, that's great. But usually, you're spending more time on one thing, other things get neglected. Just having time to just breathe, having time to just like be you. It's okay to just let down your hair. But you admire it because it's tough. It's tough to be robotic, especially someone that wouldn't conform to that. Like, it's admirable because it's so robotic. It's so robotic. And I think what keeps these people going is the money they make, right? That's the money, the money, the money, the money. So you always hear them talk about money, like money, like I'm chasing that money, because that's the only thing that's like, that keeps them so robotic. Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday for like 50 years. And that is why everything has to be so strategic and everything has to be so structured, because it's like they know in order to get this money, everything needs to go accordingly. Like, I have to wake up at this time. I have to do this every day of my life. And opening up that door, you start to see what they see through their eyes. You see the structure. You see their future. You see what they look forward to. Their eyes are not in the clouds anymore. No, it is at the money. It's at what money can bring. So it's like, okay, They know that they have to work Monday through Friday for, however long. They've been working for 50 years straight. They look forward to PTO. They look forward to just that 2 weeks off, or, a 4 week off, every year. They look forward to their weekends, right? So their weekends, they're not going to be home, right? You start to see how they spend their weekends and why they always want to, make the best out of it versus someone that is more free, that doesn't mind spending time alone, doesn't mind spending time at home. It's okay because I have the time. Like, I'll make the time. But since they're so structured, they know that they can't afford that. They won't afford it. They have this structure. And so to the outside person looking in, they're the ones that tend to have goals, like set goals always, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, because they know exactly how much money they'll have. So it's like, by the end of this year, I can buy a house. They're the ones that can, set things in place and know for sure they're going to happen. Like, and know it's going to happen because that particular time they actually have off. So, because that's the only time that they're given off. If their boss gives them the end of the 2 weeks off in October, they're going on a trip. That's a goal. That's set goal. That's happening. It opens up this door to a life where people are not just in the system, but they rely so heavily on it because it is their life. Their life is literally surrounding it. It surrounds their life. Literally. Even though I'm in the system or that person's in the system, but we found ways to work around it to where we're not so structured, we're not so robotic, we're not so hard on ourselves. We let our hair down. But when I open that sort of door, then you start to see the eyes of that sort of person, that we're not so structured, we're not so disciplined. And so there's the cons and there's the pros. But which one, depending on the person, for me, which one is better? It's the one that has more freedom in the system. Yeah, we may make less than you, right? We may make less. We may not be able to have, as many goals because we never really know what tomorrow's going to bring. To someone, it's scary. To someone, that door, they'll never open. Because that door to them sounds like immature. It sounds like someone that's not taking their life serious. But to a person that opens their door, that door looks like disaster. It looks like prison. It's suffocation. It's death. It's all I see is like graveyard. Because it's just like, I'm not surprised if they find you dead at work because you live at work. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you drop dead because you were so religiously committed to these people in these places that you spent more time there than anywhere. And again, you made lots of money, right? Because they have to pay you. And you work, you get up, you go to work. But it still doesn't seem right when they tell you when you have off. They tell you when you can vacay. And even if you can choose to, they can still deny it. How about that? Like, they tell you if you can have Christmas off, if you do celebrate these pagan holidays. Or Easter. Let's not hope that, your job works holidays, because there's another thing. finding ways around the system. Not every job or not every position, because you can have a job at this company, but there's people that at this company that don't work weekends. They don't work holidays. Look at your job description. It will tell you this job requires weekends. This job requires you to work holidays. Now, which holidays? It will probably be up to them. And if they're lenient, then they'll give you a choice. But regardless, you know that you, compared to another person, you're the one that will be working weekends, and they're the ones that won't ever have to. Won't ever have to consider it unless they just happen to want to. Like, I'll pick up. I'll help out. You know, they called me, and you better hope they have an incentive, because that's another thing. You have a choice now, because it's like that person has a choice now. You see, working around the system, it's like you want as much control as you can get. So, for instance, this person that is working around the system, trying to get as much control, they found the job where they don't have to work weekends. So now they know they don't ever have to consider it. They also know that they can willfully work weekends or holidays if they choose to. They're not required, so they won't get fired. They won't be getting a call to say, "Hey, you were scheduled." No, I'm not, because I never scheduled myself. And this is also in writing. You know, I'm not required. So you have options. The person that works around the system, where they'll still be able to get an incentive for that holiday if they pick up. But if they don't pick up, there's no consequences. But you, that your job description requires you to work weekends every weekend or every other weekend, you have to, regardless if there's an incentive or not. This person that works around the system, they can actually call and be like, "Hey, you guys need help tonight? You guys need help for the weekend? You guys need help on this holiday? Do you have any incentives?" Sometimes you won't even have to ask. Sometimes they'll post it and say, "Hey, we're looking for people to come in today. We're having an incentive for the holiday weekend." Great. It's better to have an option than to not. It's better to have some free wiggle room than to not, right? And that's what I'm seeing. That's how I see it. When you work around the system, you have wiggle room. I can breathe. I can move, you know? Yeah. That's it. But yes. When you're a person that's just straight in the system, you have some sort of security, I suppose, or at least it makes you feel that way. Like, I know the set hours I'm going to have. I know how much money I'm going to be making. I know. But think about your spirit. I get it. There's pros and cons to both, doors, going through both doors. There's pros and cons. And yes, it's obvious that I'm more of a spirit person. I am. I'm more spirit me than anything. Not because I want to be, it's just because I am. So I don't want to be biased or anything like that, but I just want to, just shed light on the obvious, the things that are obvious to me. The understanding about these things, that no one's right, no one's wrong. Like, do what's best for you. There's understanding, but I'm just acknowledging the truth. Remember, this is my case that I am, in front of the council with, right? So I'm just exposing everything, right? The reasons on why these people do this, why I didn't do that, why I don't live the way they live, why and what's the reasons. What are the different paths you can take? Why do people take those things? What do they feel when they do those things? I'm just speaking of all of those things because I could be that person. And each and every day I have to choose to be this way. I have to choose to open this door. I have to choose to walk that walk through it. So there is consequences. There's always a sacrifice. There's always the pros and cons to it. Like we all know, when it comes to working, you can be full-time, you can be part-time, you can be PRN, resource, as needed. We also know that if you are as needed, you don't get insurance unless you got a company where it's just chef's kiss. They love you. They're looking out for you because you're an employee. How about that? And y'all heard that? All the other companies, you didn't hear that? If you care for us, it shouldn't matter if we're as needed. We work for you. Here's another thing. You find that even if people are PRN or as needed, they still pick up full-time hours. And you still won't give them full insurance. You still won't give them insurance benefits. Son, ain't right. You know why? Because it's the mockery. They want to know that you're a slave. They want to know that they have you. They want to know that you're full-time, that you're in their corporation. You're working. Like, they want to know. Because it doesn't matter if you're PRN and you work 40 hours a week. Every week. Every 2 weeks. Every month. You working every month, every week. It doesn't matter. If your status still says PRN and it doesn't say part-time, it doesn't say full-time, you still don't qualify. How about that? They laughing. They like, you thought she's going to get insurance? Come on. Come over here to full-time then. I said, well, I'm doing full-time hours. No, you got to be full-time. We got to know you're full-time. We got to know that you have to be here. We got to know you're here. Yeah, it's crazy works. It's crazy works. How about that? You see that entrapment? I'm telling you, that's why that wiggle room is important. It's like, don't be a fool to it. They want you and they want to trap you. Okay? That may sound very, very dramatic, but it is. Okay? That was the whole point. They want to trap you. And that's how they trap you. Even though you're loyal, you're loyal. You work more hours than some people that are full-time. Who knows? You working every holiday, you working every holiday. You working for the full-time people. You working their holidays. You helping out. You working their weekends, and you still don't get insurance. And they talking about, because you're still PRN. And we don't want to give you that. Okay? When all they have to do is do a little tender loving care for you and look at your schedule and be like, you know what? This person deserves insurance because there are people that are coming in once a year. There may be people that come in just their 4 shifts a month, right? Because maybe that's the requirement. 4 shifts a month, 4 shifts every pay period. That's all they're required to do as PRN or as needed. There's people that do that because do them. They got other jobs. They got other things. They just needed a little gig. Okay. It ain't about them. It's about you, boo. Let's do a little tender loving care. That's all they had to do for you to see, this person actually works like a full-time person. Not only that, but they actually work holidays. They work in weekends. Like, they don't have to do all that. And they don't get insurance? No, we're going to give them some tender loving care. That's all they have to do. That's all they have to do, okay? All they have to do is look at the PRN folks and be like, who actually cares for our company? That's just the truth. Like, who actually works for our company? Who actually puts hours in? Because the least we can do is give them a raise or give them some incentive or give them some insurance. But they don't do that. They don't. So that's another con, right? That many people can't afford. They can't afford to have that wiggle room, to have that flexibility, because unfortunately, it's mockery. they want to make sure that you're there every day. Okay? And if you're there every day, then yeah, we're going to give you some insurance. That's the least we can do. But you got to be full time. You can't be there every day and be PRN. It's not going to, the math ain't going to math with them. Even though it should be mathing. You know, it ain't going to math with them. Whatever math they using, they just like, look, I don't know how many ways I can say it. If you think you're going to be there every day as a PRN employee, as an as-needed employee, because you want to be flexible, okay? You want to make your own schedule. You want to be free. You want to call your shots. They're going to be like, oh, you want to call your shots? Well, guess what? You don't get insurance. You don't get benefits. You don't get no PTO. You don't get none of that. Because you want to call your shots? Go ahead then. Call your own insurance companies. Call your own benefit companies. It's like that, you know? So, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And to most folks, it's better to be secure than anything. Just buckle in. Buckle in for the rodeo. Because it's like their mind is on the money. Their mind is in this world. So they're thinking like how generations thought before them. We're going to be here for 50 years or 60 or 70, however long you live. And we got to make sure we're secure. So that's what makes buckling in and securing and, you know, doing the things that would hurt my soul. That's what makes it worth it to them. Because they're not thinking, their eyes are not necessarily in the clouds. Their eyes are on the ground, right? Their feet. They said, listen, this is just what I have to do if I'm going to be here for another 70 years, for 100 years. How about that? For 100 years. We're going to be here for 100 years because the generation before me, you know, and the generation before me, it's been ongoing. So you start to judge, you know, your fate off of the life. Life is still going. It's like, okay, well, but for me, it's just a bit different, you know. My eyes is always in the clouds, and my feet too. I'm never really on the ground. I'm always in the spiritual courts, and my belief is not on the people. I don't trust them. I don't care. You know, it's like I need to do what's best for my spirit first. I buckle in my spirit first, and I know my Father's coming back. If I had to say it, I would say it, you know. I know my Father's coming back. It wouldn't take me to live to 100 to see him. That's not honestly, that's not my belief. And beliefs can change, right? But truth be told, that's not what I believe. And that's what affects my life and my decisions. I believe Jesus is coming back. Soon, very soon. Sooner than we all think. And that I won't have to worry. I won't have to feel like I have to sacrifice my spirit because I'm going to be here for another, you know, for 80 years. No, I don't believe that. And I'm not going to act like I do. I believe my Father is coming back. He's already here, right? And me. But this is like, just like we know this is all temporary, and I don't mean temporary like once we hit old age or get sick and we die type temporary. No, Jesus was always coming back, that sort of temporary. And things will change. Everything will fall, right? To rise again and rise the right way. Upwards. So that's my philosophy. It is to keep your eyes in the clouds, you know, as well.
There's a balance. That's the real balance. If you're gonna work, then yeah, we gotta work. We're still slaves in a way. But keep your eyes, keep your mind open, keep your heart, your soul. Still believe. Still have hope. Don't just sacrifice everything for the love of security, for the love of money, for the love of this world. No, think about the world to come. Think about the world promised to you. Think about the things that God can give you that we all wait for, that could be and will be. But when it comes to us, my fruits surely show that I really do believe in what I speak, what I know. My fruits show it, how I live, the choices I make. Because everyone deserves to be free, not just today, tomorrow, every day. Doesn't matter what age. If I could be free at any moment, I'd take it. If I could have some wiggle room, I'll take it. It's a sacrifice, but it's one that I'm willing to make. You know, it has to make sense, right? If they say, we're going to allow you to have your weekends to yourself, whereas you used to work every weekend, you're going to take it, right? They're not going to change your pay. It's not like, oh, if you no longer work weekends, you're going to lower your pay. Then maybe that may not make sense in some way. Because it's like, no, I'm good. But they're saying we're not going to change your pay. Okay? We just want to give you some wiggle room. And it's just like, I'll take it. Because I can always work weekends if I choose to now. I don't have to. So I can still make money. I can still make the same amount of money. But now I have a choice. That is life. To have a choice, that is now something you can control. That's what we want. So take control. Take the chance. Let it make sense. You get an offer about, which my job actually did, not just offer me, but offer everyone, right? Where it's for a position that makes, let's say everyone's income is above a certain bracket. Well, or wage, let's just keep it basic. If you're making $17 an hour for the job and the things you do right now, and then there's a new position in your job that allows you to work less, right? It's an easier job, task, right? Maybe you were doing everything. You were the cook, you were the cash register, you were valet, you worked outside and inside, you took orders outside, you took orders inside, you were housekeeping, you cleaned the toilets as well. There's so many wrong things in this situation, like $17 for that. But anyways, you're getting paid for all of that you do, and boy, are you appreciated. You are appreciated, and we ain't talking Tupac. You will be blessed in the life to come. Do not worry, because $17 ain't what you're worth. It ain't all what you do. That ain't enough to show it. Okay? I want to put that out there. But let's keep on with the situation. Dang, keep straight. Okay, so you're making $17 and they say, hey, Carl, we have this position where you're only having to clean the toilets, or all you have to do is sweep the floor, or all you have to do is flip the patties, or all you have to do is take the orders. Hey, whatever one you choose, okay? But that's all that you have to do. Only one task. But the catch is, you currently make $17 an hour. That changes. That changes today if you accept this offer. So you are like ecstatic. There's already peace coming through. Whew. Don't get me started, you know. There's already, you can breathe. Your anxiety's going down, your pressure, you feel your blood pressure going down, your heart's beating slower, you don't feel anxious, you can see your fate. It's like, I get to wake up and not feel anxious because I don't have to attend to 600 people a day. God dang! You know, you're already living through this before you even hear what's next. You're just like, oh, I can wake up, get dressed, put my uniform on, my badge, and come into this place like, hey guys, you know, and just get to where I'm going. I ain't got to go here, there, any to and fro. I'm just, nope, this is where I'm going to be all day. You know where to find me. Great. Okay. Yeah. But then you're just like, wait, you come back to earth. So what was the pay? Because I think you said that was going to change. Yeah, so from $17 to $14. So this position we're offering where you only do one task, you're now going to have $14 an hour as your wage. And if you want this job, let us know. And this is for everyone in this room right here. Okay? There's a position open, and so I'm sure everyone's above $17, but this right here is just one task, and it's for $14 an hour. Okay? See you guys. All that peace kind of just blew out of you. Everybody looking at each other like, wait a second. Did I just hear what I just heard? You know, there's someone like, sign me up. You know, and I'm just thinking like, hold on. There's something peaceful about it, but then there's something that ain't right. There's something in there that's not real. something don't belong. You know, and that part that doesn't belong is the wage, because there's so many things. Why couldn't it just stay the same? You've been working for this company for 10 years. Why do I have to change my wage? Why couldn't you just offer it to me sincerely? You know, they was talking to us like they was offering this position like to a stranger, like I was off the street or something. Like, yeah, the pay's gonna be $14 an hour, almost like I'm not, like I don't even have a wage already. It's like, I have a wage. How about we just transfer it over? How about that? You know, and she didn't even stay long enough for us to ask that question because she knew she wasn't right. She said, okay, guys, see you later. If you want it, let me know. Send a little letter under the door. I'll be gone home. And I'll check it tomorrow. You guys think about it. Yeah, I'm sure because it ain't really a long thought. It's more of just, I've come to conclusion that things ain't making sense. That's what I have to say about it. Now, Tony over there like, yeah, sign me up. But I'm like, Tony, do you make below $14? Because if you do, then honey, you deserve it. Let Tony have it. Let Tony have it. Because it's mathing for him. But let's be real. Everyone in this room makes at least $17. And, well, no, can't say that. Everyone in this room, well, yeah, everyone makes $17 and up. Do you understand that? And this new position is for $14 an hour. But everyone in this room makes $17 and up. So you're just like, oh, do I sacrifice the money for my peace? And that is why I'm bringing this up. Because this is where it makes sense. This is where it doesn't make sense. Sacrificing your money for your peace or peace for your money is very valid. Like, we need to discuss this. But here's what makes it not worth it to a person. Again, to Tony, it's worth it. But understand, you already work at this job. And they tell you not only that if you take this offer, you will no longer be able to work any other position. So, for instance, if you want to pick up some hours, you can't. Because this sort of position only requires for just one person to sweep the floor. They can have someone cover that. For me, it doesn't make sense. To me, it's common sense that you need the money, okay? You need the money. This is not a whole new career. I get it. I do. I really do. But it's like, in this certain situation, it's not worth it. It's not. I get it. Peace of mind. All you have to do is go to work and sweep. Sound good, doesn't it? That's the thing. They're just like waving something in your face. Just like, yeah. Smells good, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Sure does. But something ain't right. Again, to Tony, it's right. Get it, Tony. Go get it. Do the dang thing. But to someone that's making $17 an hour, no, just continue doing what you're doing. Because when you go to work, you're still going to have to sweep the floor anyway. And so at least you know when you're sweeping that floor, you're making more than $14 an hour, okay? Okay? You may have to flip patties. You may have to clean toilets too. You may have to be that multitasker, you know, and God will definitely bless you. Trust me, honey. That's why I said that. Like, don't worry. Your time is coming. And it just ain't this ain't this time. This is Tony's time. You know, they've actually done Tony a disservice by paying him below 14. Yeah. Tony, do you even make 14? Yeah. They did him a disservice, so he deserves it. This is his chance. This ain't ours. It wouldn't make sense to us. Just keep your $17 an hour and flip those patties, take those orders, clean those toilets, sweep that floor. You just got to wait your turn. Just pass this one up. Keep going. Just keep going. It's going to smell good. You walking, you making your way, things smelling good, distraction. But you got to keep going. Things sounding good. It's like, it ain't right. Okay, you got to keep going. You want to stop when it sound good, look good, feel good. It is good. Like, check, 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 check. Because here's the other thing. I quickly realized if they really cared, they would be like, hey, Carl, we really value you as an employee. We're going to offer you this position and we're going to give you a raise for it. Or or they could have allowed you to keep your wage instead of debunking it. If they really cared, if they knew you wanted this job, or they just asked you, they just like, look, hey, but they did not do that when they could. So that already messes with my my mind. Like, nah, you don't even care. You don't even care for me. This ain't even sincere. You know? Like, offer me the job. You're not offering me, you just offering everyone else. When you could just offer one person, you know, and be like, hey, I'm gonna give it to you. And I'm gonna allow you to keep your wage. Don't tell nobody. They're not even doing that. They're not even doing that. So no, don't do it. Don't do it. I know it smells good, but don't do it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it, you know. Keep your wage. Keep your $17 because boy, I'm sure it was maybe 3 years ago, you were probably praying for $2-3 more, right? Like, oh, I need a raise. And you got a raise, right? Only to go back down. Only to go back down. I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. How about this? How about you pass this up, but you find you another job? You know what I mean? Like, you find you a little gig. That's it. Just do that. Just do that. And that's how I feel. Like, I will literally just find, you know, you don't want to put your eggs in one basket. Keep your job and keep the position, keep your wage. If you're making $17 an hour, keep that. Don't mess with it. Yeah, they say, oh, well, you can just, all you have to do is just sweep floors, but for $14. No. Just keep the $17 because we don't know if you can ever make $17 anywhere else. Okay? We know that you can probably make $14, but the 17, I don't know, brother. You know, keep the $17 one. Because if they're already opening positions like this, I'm sure they'll have other positions in the future. Who knows? But God is willing. Okay? God is willing. So keep the $17 an hour position. And then if you really do need extra coins, you know, start opening up your door to other opportunities outside of this company, right? And let it and find something that's more lenient. Something that all you have to do is one thing, or at least two. That's it. Not 6, 7, 8, 10,000 things for 10,000 people. No. And that's the choice we have. Now it may be limited, right? When you're very strategic, when you're very like picky, things may be limited to you. But that's okay. That's the risk you're willing to take. That is a sacrifice. The sacrifice of life. Everything's a choice. Well, this is what we're choosing, right? You owe that to yourself. You already work a freaking job that you slave in. You will not, right? So it's just like, okay, the next job you have, let it be easy. You pray for that. Let it be a one-task job. That's it. And here's the thing. Do not, I repeat, do not be full-time. Okay? That's an option. You're already full-time one place. Honey, trust me. It's okay. Don't be greedy. You'll get your money worth. Be PRN. Be part-time. You can always pick up hours. That's all I'm saying. So in this scenario, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to go from $17 an hour to $14 an hour because now your task has, you know, you have limited tasks now to do. No. Don't take that position. Unless you don't make anywhere near $14 an hour. You make less than it, then it is worth it to take that position. But to take that position because you kind of want to be lazy, you kind of just want to just chill out, I get it. Who wouldn't want that? And I think that's what they mock you with. They could have allowed you to keep your $17 an hour, but they're not. They're saying if you're going to take this new position where you only sweep floors now, no longer do patties and cleaning toilets, we're changing your wage. We're not keeping it the same. So that should tell you enough right there. Do they really value you? No, they don't. And here's another thing to point out, because I said this earlier. It seems like they're talking to a stranger, right? You would think that they treat their employees with more gratitude, as in, why do you have to debunk your current employee's wage? Why can't they just stay the same? Whereas if you're getting someone off the street, they don't have nothing to compare it to. They have not been working for this company. They don't have a wage. So that also shows the insincerity. You're looking like, are you talking to a stranger, ma'am? Why are you talking about my wage? Why are you changing it? Why is it not going up? Why is it going down? Why am I being degraded? What's the word for it? The opposite of promoted. Demoted. I don't know. Deported. Just why is it going down, right? So I wouldn't take it. Sounds nice, but is it really in the long run? When you can just maybe find another job, another little easy job that you can work every once in a blue moon. Yeah, just do that. You know, find a job where they actually sweep floors. They actually do one thing. And they may even pay you more than $14 an hour. See that? But again, it takes time. And I know it may feel like, dang, this is my chance because it's the opportunity. But we have to make common sense decisions. And this one just doesn't make sense. And that is where, you sacrifice somewhat of your peace in a way for the money, because it makes sense. Because in a way it may seem like you're sacrificing your peace because you find like, okay, if I only have one task to do, I'll have more peace in that day, in the plantation. But it's like, in the long run, will you really have peace knowing that you don't make as much anymore? I don't think we're doing any job to get paid less. That's my thing about it. Just be sincere. I want to work for a company that's sincere. If you're offering me a job, then why would my rate go lower? I'm already in the company. Why would I take a position for lower? That's what I'm saying. I get it, but why does it have to go low? Why can't it just stay the same? Why can't it just go higher? Certain things like that is worth sacrificing. But it's all a choice. And I'll leave it there.